Brendan Bradford from CodeSports. I've got a whole lot of questions for you, mate. I pretty much just want yes or no's. Wah-wahs, are we concrete into the top 4 as of now?
Oh, I've been a Warriors fan for too long to say that we can cement it, but it's so close. It's so close. And the draw is pretty favourable for the Warriors. Tigers this week, and I think Dolphins at some point over the next couple of weeks. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and say yes. I'm not touching wood. I'm not trying to jinx it, but it's just a good team, and I think they're going to finish top 4.
Can we say in concrete the Tigers are the Spooners?
Surely we can. Yeah, they're 4 points behind the Dragons. They'll lose this weekend in Hamilton. I think the Tigers are locked in for the wooden spoon. They've looked like the worst team. They're well off the pace. They've got 3 wins for the year. Lock in the Tigers, despite the Dragons' best efforts.
Top 2 are going to be the Panthers and the Broncos, yes?
Spot on, yeah. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if these two play in the grand final. It would be a tremendous match. I think it's, as much as you want the Warriors to get there, I think Panthers and Broncos have been the 2 outstanding teams of the year, and you want a grand final that befits such a great season. And I think those 2 teams are the best performing. They're playing probably the best rugby league. Certainly the Broncos are. And that just the storyline of the Panthers trying to go for 3 in a row, the Broncos trying to topple them after being sort of down in the dumps not too long ago. I think that's a really interesting way to end the season.
Brendan Bradford is with us from CodeSports AU out of Oz. We talk league every Monday, and I like you to make sense of everything that is in front of me here. The Roosters beat the Seagulls. They were pretty damn impressive. The Sharks beat the Rabbitohs, likewise. But I still don't trust either of those 2 teams, the Roosters and the Sharks, are either going to be still in the 8 by the end of the season.
The Sharks, possibly. I think the Sharks have a little bit more going for them. The Roosters, it's actually simpler for the Roosters. I mean, they just need to win and just hope for the best and put out some good vibes and hope results go their way. The Sharks, they can have maybe 1 or 2 more slip-ups, probably just 1, actually. They need to keep on top of things. A win over the Rabbitohs certainly good news for their fans, but I'm pretty close to putting a line through the Roosters. I think there's just too many. They need to win by this many points and then hope that the Cowboys and Seagulls lose to whoever. And I think it's just a step too far for the Roosters. And even if they make it, like you say, I don't trust them. I don't think they've been playing that well. I don't think they'll be. They shouldn't figure at the end of the season. The Sharks, who knows? Who knows with the Sharks? Like, they go around and beat the Rabbitohs like that, but they haven't beaten the top 8 side. I don't know. Is it, one of those ones? If they make it, is it even worth them having them in the finals? They haven't barely fired a shot against any of those other top 8 teams. So I think the Eels or the Cowboys, if they can put together a couple of wins, I think they might give a bit of crack come September.
Are you prepared to say the Knights are a lock? They have made the 8.
No. And the reason I'm not willing to say it is the Knights are on 27 points, and the Rabbitohs, Eels, and Cowboys are all on 26. But all those 3 teams have a bye in hand, so they'll all leapfrog the Knights. Well, they're all 1 point above the Knights. I think there's still a bit of work to go for the Newcastle Knights, although on form and momentum, they're probably them, the Warriors. Panthers, Broncos less so because they've been pretty dominant this year, but they're the form momentum side coming into the final. So I think they will get there, but I'm not willing to tell anyone to go and put their hard-earned on it yet. I'm not willing to put it in cement yet.
Eels and Cowboys then. Pick one that will make it, pick one that won't.
That's a good question. Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to go with the Eels.
Ooh.
Purely because I feel like I've almost backed myself into the corner, because this whole season, when they started so badly, I've been saying all year, the Eels will come good, the Eels will come good. They're too good not to play finals football, and I will stick with that line of thinking. Look, I could I could easily sit here and probably come up with an argument for the Cowboys, but I'm sticking with the Eels. I'm sticking with the Eels.
Storm versus Raiders this week. Does the winner of that take the final top 4 spot? Let's just presume the top 2 are done. Let's hope for the Warriors. To the Storm, the Raiders, the winner of that. Is that the other one in the 4?
Yeah, certainly looks like it. The winner of that will go to 32 points, and the Sharks are next on 28, and then obviously the other team will be on 30. So it looks that way, and it certainly looks that way that the Storm and the Raiders are going to vie for that last top 4 spot, and it's just another example of why this season is so great, that you just have these two teams locked 4th and 5th, but locked on points, playing each other this close to the end of the season for a place in the top 4. It's just, I say it every week, this is the best season I can remember, and there's going to be other games like this as well over the next couple of weeks, with teams trying to make it into the top 8 and drop out and things like that. So it's, certainly those two teams, one of them will be in the top 4.
Put you under pressure. I pumped the questions at you. All you got to do is you got to catch this one, kick it out, and the game is over. Okay, what is more chance of happening? Manly, the Sea Eagles, claw their way into the 8th, or the NRL and the RPLA resolve this year-long dispute?
Oh, man, that's a no-brainer. It's the Sea Eagles versus the 8th. There is no end in sight to this thing. The RLPA, they tried the media ban, and everyone sort of realised it made no difference. They covered up the logo. Everyone realised no one even knew that there was a Telstra on the logo until they covered it up. I don't know what's next, but by all accounts, everyone I've spoken to just can see no end in sight. Don't know how this saga ends. So as far-fetched as it might seem, Manly making the top 8 is more likely.
Devlin.
Unbelievable. Incredible.
The platform.
Brendan, thank you so much. Let's double dip, talking Luke, people. Zane, the Warriorholic, about to join us. Winners over the weekend, week 23, with the Roosters, Warriors, Panthers, Bronx, Knights, Sharks, Eels, and Raiders, in that particular order. We've only got weeks 24, 25, 26, and 27 to go, so that's 4 rounds. This is Zane, a little snippet after each of the games so far.
You said all we need is a win, and we got it, mate. We should have beaten them.
Be honest, were you expecting any of that?
Yes. 2 from 4 was what a lot of guys were sort of dreaming about, but 3 from 4, mate, what more could you ask? It's the best game for me since that semi-final where we beat Melbourne. Sometimes you just get a sense when you watch a game that the team you love is just that 5% off. Mate, you've got to stop predicting things, mate, or putting the curse on last week. The reality is when you come up against Melbourne, in Melbourne, things have got to go your way. I can't argue at all, mate, to be completely honest. They were just so much better than us. When you see the blatant inconsistencies, it literally did. It put me off watching any of the footy for the rest of the weekend. Quietly content would be a very good way to describe it, not trying to get ahead of myself. My first instinct was we seemed flat. We seemed out of sync. Going back and watching it, there's still definitely a few things we can improve on from a fan who's always looking for more. This is the closest we've come to having an attack and defence click on the same day. They went in there with the mindset of just let's be clinical. I don't think it's the end of the world. Probably a good reality check, I think, heading into the back end of the season. The speed of it was almost state of origin-like for the first half there, and the other teams just can't come with us. Best game of the season for me right there, mate, and I was there to witness it.
I went from strutting around mentally like a peacock, thinking we were the men, to trying to figure out where's a dark hole I can go down and hide from the social media world for the next 2 weeks until our next game.
229, that's 22 consecutive rounds. He joins us, Zane, the Warriorholic. All right, Zane, 4 games to go, probably 2 wins needed now for top 4. Are you prepared to accept that a home semi-final is coming?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Nothing but.
Well, we're not going to lose the last 4 games, are we?
Mate, I'm going to be a Webby and take it game by game, and we don't lose to the Tigers, mate, after watching them last night. And I think they probably play us into a bit of form, getting our attack a little bit more in sync, and we'll be off and running.
What impressed you out of that Titans game? Because it was a scratchy performance. It was a patchy performance. It wasn't the Warriors at our best.
Well, I mean, you've got to give it, first of all, to the Titans, mate. They came up with a really interesting game plan that no one's done this year. Got really niggly and grubby to put us off our game, which it did, I think, until the near quarter went off, and I kind of think we sort of hit the reset then. Apparently, SJ's had that flu that everyone's had going through the comp, so his sort of first 20 was a bit quiet. But after that, when you go back and watch it again, other than perhaps still trying to go wide a little bit early, we were very clinical. Our defence, Sean's kicking game just went to a next level against a very, very good Titans team who have probably top 3 left edge in the game that they get a lot of points through, like Pereira on the wing there. He's got the second or third most tackle breaks and line breaks in the comp, and we shut him down. So it wasn't as bad as it seemed live.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, then again, it was not the most fluid performance, was it? You kind of expect that maybe coming off a bye. I don't think any game's going to be easy from here on in, though. I think that's what we've got to get used to. It doesn't matter where the teams are on the table. Is it finals football from now or not?
Yeah, well, I mean, just on the fluidity, losing Chance early on, like he's been a big part of our ball playing over the past few weeks. And to lose him and bring Tuaupiki in for the second time, and he hasn't played since about round 6 or something like that, it does have a big impact on it. And he was kind of connected there in a lot of the balls that didn't quite find their target. But yeah, off the bye, it wasn't ideal. But I think, again, it's a game you need to be able to win in that situation. Like, it's scrappy. You know, a lot of teams struggle against a team of 12. So it was a little bit semi-like. So I don't mind it. It's better than that than, blowing out by 60-odd points.
Yeah, and looking at the points table at the moment, 13 wins, only 6 last year. It's remarkable. I keep staring at it, just thinking, wow. I mean, who would have thought? There's no way you could have honestly predicted that at the start of the season.
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I knew we'd play well. I knew we'd make the 8, but I didn't even sort of think about how many wins or losses we were going to get. But it's pretty mind-blowing that I think now we're just 1 behind what the 2011 team got. Maybe 2 behind what we got in 2002. So they were our 2 best seasons ever, and we're almost equal with them.
3rd spot at the moment, 2nd in terms of defence, and that is for points against, just 1 behind the Broncos. But you're talking about the Panthers, Broncos, Warriors, Storm. Those are the top 4 sides. That's the top 4 defences. That says an awful lot as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does, and it's particularly that line defence that you can just see how calm they all are. Probably the Broncos, the ones that I think are still a little bit. So I'm not so sure of, but the other 3, the line defence is outstanding, and I think we also proved that our edge defence really went up a level on the weekend as well. So it's nice to see. It's this thing that gives you confidence as a fan, right? Because we're not maybe blowing teams off the park, but we're still conceding 18 or under every week, and that's what gets you to the finals.
The Warriorholic, at the Warriorholic, that's Zane's his podcast as well as his YouTube channel, as well as his Twitter handle. 13 wins, 20 games, 4 to go. It's just momentum from here, isn't it? I mean, it kind of feels to me it's a strange old season because you spend all season thinking make the 8, but that's already done now. And then it's like not lose a grip in terms of getting a top 6 spot. Now it's not losing grip in terms of getting a top 3 or 4 and absolutely getting a home playoff. So when it comes to that, though, do the Warriors, and this is an economics question purely, do the Warriors stick with the tried and true at Mount Smart, or does management think, hang on a second, we could just about double our audience here and go to Eden Park?
I'm curious to see about that because a lot of the real hardcore fans are completely against it. And I don't think it'll necessarily be a Warriors decision. I think it's the NRL has putting the pressure on them to do it. That I think you'd pack out Eden Park, and that would be an amazing thing to experience. But, I feel like I'd rather stay at Mount Smart, stay consistent rather than trying to change things because I think we had a couple of banana skin games when we tried that in the past. So I don't know. I'd go either way.
Okay. All right. Okay. So it's how do you feel now when you look at this points table? You sound pretty relaxed. It started off with the season with a brand new coach full of hope. Now what is the feeling?
So I guess it's about continuing to improve And, we heard on your show there, Morgs, the other day, talking about how they're working on some new attacking structures because, they've seen our key plays now for a few weeks. We've got to sort of, add a few more arrows to the quiver. I don't know, I can't remember. Was it bows to the something or other?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, we've got to improve there. I think we've got to get our precision up a little bit. I think get those passes in front of the guys. Don't overrun them. Particularly when you're getting like the breaks out of dummy half and the like that one from Dylan Walker on the weekend where he just slipped and should have gone right to SJ's behind him, but went left to Metcalf, who was slightly in front of him. Little things like that will make a big difference because the Panthers will get them right. So, just up to that. We've got to start taking it to the next level every week from here.
Here's a great stat to finish with, mate. On a 4-0 rule at the moment, on a 4-0 roll at the moment, there's only 4 teams, and that is the Panthers, the Broncos, the Warriors, and the Knights. The next best after that is 2-2. So, if you just isolate that and just think the last 4 games, who's actually on form? 4 teams are playing really well and putting their opposition away. The others are barely. That's the truth. That includes the Storm, the Raiders, even your Rabbits are 1-3 in the last 4 games.
I mean, it's interesting. I think the Knights are probably the best at the moment out of the teams outside the 4. The way Kalen Pong is going, I think the Eels are going to struggle. The Cowboys have fallen off the wagon a bit. The Sharks are Jekyll and Hyde. I can't see them putting 4 or 5 performances like they did in the weekend in a row after what they've played. The Raiders have looked mud for weeks. They can't score points. To just win by 4 points over a Tigers outfit who don't even look like a first-grade team, it really does come down to maybe Latrell Mitchell pulling out some magic, or the Knights for me to really challenge the top 4.
Devlin.
Oh, how does he do that? How does he do that?
The Platform.